Human Life by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, 1772 to 1834. If dead we cease to be, if total gloom swallow up life's brief flash, for aye, we fare as summer gusts of sudden birth and doom, whose sound and motion not alone declare, but are their whole of being. If the breath be life itself, and not its task and tent, if even a soul like Milton's can know death, O man, thou vessel purposeless, unmeant, yet drone-hive strange of phantom purpose. Surplus of nature's dread activity, which as she gazed on some nigh-fashioned vase, retreating slow with meditative pause, she formed with restless hands unconsciously. Blank accident, nothing's anomaly. If rootless thus substanceless thy state, go weigh thy dreams and be thy hopes, thy fears, the counterweights. Thy laughter and thy tears mean but themselves, each fittest to create and to repay the others. Why rejoices thy heart with hollow joy for hollow good? Why cowl thy face beneath the mourner's hood? Why waste thy sighs and thy lamenting voice, image of image, ghost of ghostly elf, that such a thing as thou feelest warm or cold? Yet what and whence thy gain if thou withhold these costless shadows of thy shadowy self? Be sad, be glad, be neither, seek or shun, thou hast no reason why, thou canst have none. Thy being's being is contradiction. Okay, this is a poem by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. He was born in Devon. He is one of the founders of the Romantic movement, and he was a great friend of William Wordsworth. He also worked with Charles Lamb and Robert Southey. I think he's probably most famous for the Rime of the Ancient Mariner and Kubla Khan. His father was a priest, and he went to Jesus College, Cambridge. He suffered from various childhood illnesses, and as a result of this, as a result of being given laudanum, he ended up as an opium addict throughout his life. So what's this poem about? Well, this poem is about the meaning of life. He's asking, is there a God? Is there a purpose to our existence? He begins by saying that if when we die, that's it. There is nothing. There is no afterlife. There is no God. There is no meaning. Then, what are we but nothing? And he's wondering about the existence of God, the existence of the afterlife, the reason. He's asking the reason why we were made by nature, why we came from nature. And he says that if we're just an accident of nature, then this would mean that there's no reason to live morally, that we should just do whatever we want, because our purpose is is no more than to live or die, and therefore if we live or die, we don't need morals. We just need to do what we feel like doing. If dead, we cease to be. So if when we're dead we cease to be, we cease to exist, if total gloom swallow up life's brief flash for I, so if after we die, after our brief flash of life, we're swallowed up by the darkness. If our life is just this brief flash, we fare as summer gusts of sudden birth and doom. We're like a gust of wind in the summer, where we are suddenly born and then we disappear, whose sound and motion not alone declare, but are their whole of being. So if there's nothing more than just this breath of summer air, that there's not more to it, there's not something to the sound, there's not something to the movement, but if just the breath, this slight wind is everything, if the breath be life itself and not its task content, so if life is just something that is empty, something that has no meaning, if even a soul like Milton's can know death, Coleridge was a big fan of Milton, and he's saying if even somebody as great as Milton could just disappear into death, O man, thou vessel purposeless, unmeant, then that means that you are a purposeless vessel. You're meant for nothing. If there is truly nothing after death, then we are completely purposeless. Yet drone-hive strange of phantom purpose. So the drone is the male bee, and male bees, they don't produce honey. And then if we don't have an afterlife, then maybe we're like the drones in the hive that do nothing to produce the hive, nothing to protect it, because the drones don't sting either. So we're like the drones in the hive. We have no real purpose. Now he goes on to think about nature creating us, when we were created by nature. Surplus of nature's dread activity. So perhaps we're just nothing. We're just the surplus, the extra of nature's of nature's terrible activity, which, as she gazed on some nigh-finished vase. Okay, so maybe nature is looking at us as if nature was making a vase, but it's not finished, it's nigh finished, it's perhaps nearly finished, but not really. Retreating slow with meditative form, meditative pause, she formed with restless hands unconsciously. So maybe just nature making this vase, which was never finished. It was done really pointlessly, just thinking it's some sort of accident. And are we some accident of nature, that just nature messing around, some experiment of nature, but without any reason? Let's see what it's like. Blank accident, nothing's anomaly. So we're just an accident. We're just we're not like anything. We were just an aside of nature playing around. If rootless thus substanceless thy state. So if we have no root, if we have no origin, then our state is without substance. We are a creature or a thing without being. Go weigh thy dreams, and be thy hopes, thy fears the counterweight. So then if your dream, if you are nothing, if we're just something that nature invented as an aside, then our dreams don't weigh anything. Our dreams are as important as our hopes and fears, that they have no importance. Thy laughter and thy tears mean but themselves, each fittest to create and to repay the other. So then our laughter and our tears, our happiness and sadness, these mean nothing. They are just moments. Why rejoices the heart with hollow joy for hollow good? Why should the heart be happy? Why should we be happy? Because we are empty. There is nothing to it. There's no reason behind us. Why cowl? Why cover your face beneath the mourner's hood? Why hide yourself away? Why not just act out every whim, every desire? Don't hide yourself away. Do anything you feel like doing. Be completely free, because there's no reason to being. There's nothing behind it. There is no God. There is nothing. Why waste thy sighs and thy lamenting voices? So why bother sighing? Why lament? There's no reason to lament. Image of image, ghost of ghostly elf. You're just an image of an image, a copy of a copy. There's no reason to anything you do. You're just a ghost of other ghosts. You're not real. This is just something that carries on through nature. That such a thing as thou feels warm or cold. It doesn't matter if you feel warm or cold, if you feel happy or sad. Yet what and whence thy gain if thou withhold these costly shadows of thy shadowy self? What do you have to gain if you withhold yourself, if you hold yourself back, if there are no consequences after death, that heaven does not exist, if life is just being in this world, then why hold back? Be sad, be glad, be neither. Seek, shun. Do whatever you want. Take any of these things. Thou hast no reason why. Thou canst have none. There is no reason behind you. There is no reason. Your being, thy being's being, is contradiction. So, in a world where there is divine purpose, divine presence, then you might act morally. But in this one, existing is a contradiction, and therefore there is no point in anything. Everything is pointless. So, Human Life by Samuel Taylor Coleridge.